echoes are too loud and the motion's too fast. I'm leaving the static of the grid in the past.
It wasn't a label, it wasn't a flaw, just a biological antenna answering the law of a deeper resonance, a smoother signal, where the heart and the mind finally start to mingle.
This is the sovereign homecoming. The extraction is here.
The frequency is locking
and the signal is clear.
No more AM spikes,
no more emotional heat, just the raw earth humming
beneath my bare feet. I'm a loosened soul,
loosened soul. I'm finally in phase,
walking out of the
architecture and the blindness of days.
They call it a sickness when you can't take the noise, but I found the treasure while they played with the toys.
It's molecular harmony,
it's the original design.
I'm reclaiming the lineage that's rightfully mine.
Deprogram the system, reprogram the heart,
watching the old prison planet finally fall apart.
Understand what it's about.
It's not autism, it's the spiritual light.
The plasma handshake
in the middle of the night.
From the AM static to the FM clear, the sound of the silence is all that I hear. The exit is open and the creator is near.
This is the sovereign homecoming. The extraction is here.
The frequency is locking
and the signal is clear.
No more AM spikes,
no more emotional heat, just the raw earth humming
beneath my bare feet. I'm a loosened soul,
I'm a loosened soul. I'm finally in phase,
walking out of the architecture
and the blindness of days.
Smooth signal,
0 beat intent.
I am home.
Before we escape the grid, we must understand the nature of our own sight. Welcome to the journey of the sovereign scholar. The authors and interpreters of the 1611 King James Version gave us more than just a book. They gave us a philosophy. In their preface, they encouraged us to interpret truth from our own hearts and our own sovereign souls. That 11-page letter was a defense of individual light, arguing that translation opens the window to every man and woman. It is my belief that we can use that same philosophy to research and study the world of science for ourselves. We are moving beyond the institutional grid. We are no longer passive consumers of expert opinion. We are active seekers of the patterns of nature. Look to the forest, to the wood wide web. It is a living organic grid that requires no central authority. It is decentralized, cooperative, and ancient. In the 19th century, a polymath named William Whewell, the man who actually coined the very word scientist, argued for a higher standard of truth. He called it consilience. It is the mark of a law of nature, the moment when the invisible becomes undeniable. Whewell argued that the strongest possible proof in science isn't just one person with a telescope. It is when independent, unrelated sources all jump together to point at the same conclusion. When archaeology, astronomy, and even our own dreams begin to merge, the paths of the independent researcher find their home in the collective heart of reality. From the ancient T-shaped stones of Göbekli Tepe to the geometric grids circling our globe today, the evidence is surfacing. The stones are popping up from the ground, vibrating with the frequency of a forgotten truth. From the printing press of 1611 to the mycelium beneath our feet, The timeline of the sovereign is a steady march toward the light. The information presented here is not just theory. These are the sources Cliff has meticulously compiled to validate the path ahead. This is the foundation for everything he will be revealing in the upcoming episode 3 of the Wood Wide Web. It is time to open the window.
Welcome to the Wood Wide Web. My name is Clifford Phelan, and this is episode number 3. We will be talking more about the hole in the magnetosphere and how it's thinning, and how it's becoming dangerously close to allowing too many X-rays from a solar flare to enter, causing excessive radiation. What I have found in my research is that not just one hole is in the magnetosphere. Another has opened and grown rapidly over months to the size of the Eastern European continent. What this means for us? Well, let me go over a few things. 1. The mainstream record. In geophysics and space weather tracking, the primary hole or depression in Earth's shield is formally documented as the South Atlantic Anomaly, SAA. This is a massive region where the geomagnetic field is significantly weaker than elsewhere on the planet, allowing cosmic radiation, solar particles, and high-energy X-rays to dip dangerously close to Earth's surface. 2. The second hole evidence. In recent years, ESA scientists confirmed that the SAA is actively evolving, weakening at an accelerated pace, and has officially split into 2 distinct lobes, a second independent weak spot that has expanded rapidly toward the Eastern Hemisphere, Africa, and the Indian Ocean. 3. The solar flare and X-ray penetration threat. The mainstream record. Based on my analysis of tracking logs and atmospheric charts provided by NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and NASA, I contend that our significantly thinned magnetosphere is now highly vulnerable. The data supports my claim that a severe solar flare event could directly breach this compromised sector, resulting in an influx of excessive, unmitigated cosmic radiation reaching the surface. 4. The mechanism. When a major solar flare, or coronal mass ejection, CME, hits a weakened section of the magnetic shield, it triggers a magnetospheric breach, also called magnetic reconnection or cracks in the shield. Because the field is already dangerously thin in these anomaly zones, the solar wind energy compresses the remaining shield, allowing high-energy X-rays and solar cosmic rays to penetrate much deeper into the upper and middle atmosphere than normal, causing massive atmospheric ionization and radiation spikes. The impact of magnetospheric collapse and radiation spikes. When the solar wind flattens the Earth's magnetosphere, the planetary shield weakens. This structural failure allows cosmic rays and high-energy radiation to penetrate deep into the atmosphere, triggering a cascade of biological and ecological disruptions across 4 distinct layers of life. 1. The atmospheric shield and planetary systems. When the external shields fail, raw, unfiltered cosmic radiation rips straight into the ionosphere. This massive influx alters upper atmospheric chemistry, actively depleting the ozone layer. Without that critical ozone density, the atmosphere stops filtering. The raw frequency of the cosmos breaks through, triggering massive global weather anomalies and generating severe electrical currents in the ground itself. The scientific evidence. Atmospheric research confirms that major solar proton events, SPEs, generate massive amounts of nitric oxides in the upper atmosphere, which systematically deplete ozone density for weeks following an impact. 2. Destruction of vegetation and the mycelial network. Plants act as biological antennas, tuned to specific natural frequencies. Unfiltered radiation spikes alter their cellular and genetic structure. High levels of cosmic radiation directly disrupt photosynthesis and damage plant DNA, leading to mutated leaf structures, stunted growth, and incorrect seed germination. In a sustained event, this leads to a collapse of local food chains because the underground mycelial networks, the fungi grids, can no longer process nutrients from damaged and dying root systems. The scientific evidence. Botanical studies on ultraviolet B, UVB, radiation demonstrate that elevated exposure causes severe oxidative stress in plants, permanently damaging chloroplasts and crippling crop yields. 3. Blindness in the animal kingdom. To the animal kingdom, a flattened magnetosphere combined with radiation spikes causes immediate navigational chaos. Migratory wildlife relies entirely on the planet's natural magnetic lines to navigate. Whales, birds, and insects possess magnetite in their tissues, allowing them to literally map their journeys along the Earth's natural magnetic grid. When solar activity distorts this grid, their internal compasses are blinded. This results in mass strandings of deep-sea whales, birds migrating thousands of miles off course, and the global disruption of essential pollinators, such as bees. The scientific evidence. The field of biomagnetism has thoroughly documented a direct correlation between major geomagnetic storms and sudden spikes in mass cetacean strandings, proving that marine mammals lose their orientation when planetary magnetic topography shifts. 4. Biological and neurological impacts on humans. The human nervous system and cardiovascular system operate on minute electrical impulses, meaning human biology is completely intertwined with the planet's background frequencies. When cosmic radiation spikes pierce the thinned atmosphere, the biological toll is immediate. Data shows a sharp increase in cardiovascular events, stroke risks, and cardiac arrhythmias during periods of intense solar unrest. Simultaneously, these energy spikes overstimulate the pineal gland, disrupting melatonin production. This triggers widespread neurological and psychological distress, resulting in severe insomnia, sudden spikes in acute anxiety, erratic behavioral patterns, and a state of intense collective restlessness across the population. The scientific evidence. Clinical research in chronobiology and neurology shows that hospital admissions for acute psychiatric distress, clinical depression, and cardiovascular emergencies consistently tick upward globally during peak periods of solar and geomagnetic unrest. The sovereign blueprint and decoupling from the grid. The realization of these planetary vulnerabilities in cosmic cycles often brings a sense of profound unease. But the purpose of compiling this data is not to induce fear or leave the observer trapped in a narrative of inevitable collapse. The purpose of these videos, and the core foundation of the escape manual, is to provide the blueprint for the exit strategy. There is a way to decouple from the loop, the architecture of the program. To escape the grid, one must first recognize that the grid is not just an external, invisible matrix circling the globe. It is an internal system of software running inside the human mind. From the earliest moments of development, through kindergarten, elementary school, high school, university, and into corporate training modules, the institutional framework has been systematically designed for a single purpose: to program compliance. This societal matrix rewards obedience, enforces uniform thinking, and conditions individuals to be predictable components within a managed, cyclical society. In the Western world, particularly in the United States, this is labeled a good citizen. In reality, it is a specialized training protocol designed to align human consciousness with the artificial, low-frequency spikes of institutional control, the heavy, manipulative architectures designed by ancient gatekeepers to keep humanity locked in a perpetual, predictable loop. The process of radical deprogramming. Decoupling requires a deliberate, systematic deprogramming process. It demands that the individual actively erase the institutional software that dictates how to perceive time, history, science, and survival. When the learned compliance is stripped away, a vacuum is created. That vacuum must not be refilled with new external dogma, but with direct organic resonance. The mind and the heart must be actively reprogrammed to align with the planet's raw, natural frequencies as we fly through space. Retuning the sovereign antenna. Human biology must be intentionally tuned away from the artificial signals of control and retuned to the living data fields surrounding us, the earth, the vegetation, and the wildlife. Plants and animals do not live under the panic of the institutional grid. They exist in direct fluid response to the cosmos. By shifting focus from the artificial frequencies of the matrix to the organic networks of the natural world, the independent researcher breaks the cycle. The antenna of the human body stops receiving the broadcast of the archontic loop and begins receiving the baseline frequency of absolute sovereignty. Joining the sovereign network. To expand this research and continue breaking through the institutional barriers of modern media, distribution relies entirely on decentralized collective support. The algorithms governing platforms like YouTube are hardwired to restrict coverage until specific milestones are met. Every subscription serves as a direct countermeasure to this digital filtering, enabling these findings to reach a broader audience. If this research, the music, and the philosophy of the sovereign scholar resonate with you, take action to support the project. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the community page on Facebook, and visit the official website to establish direct contact. The links to connect with this network are provided below. An invitation to the Tahlequah Bigfoot experience. For those residing in or near Tahlequah, the research moves from the digital realm into direct, real-world collaboration. You are cordially invited to attend the upcoming Tahlequah Bigfoot experience. Date, October 17th. Time, 9 a.m. Location, Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Specific venue setting to be announced as soon as possible. This event will feature a comprehensive physical display of the master forensic logs, acoustic evidence, custom slide presentations, and video analyses compiled throughout this investigation. This is an open invitation to step outside the digital grid, examine the primary data in person, and connect with independent researchers dedicated to uncovering the truth of the forest keepers. Subscribe, follow the links, and join us on October 17th to help open the window and let in the light.
Pressure's on, my eyes are burning bright. Just a biological robot in the light. Hear the whispers of a prison in the signal. Gotta clean this old bus and keep my heart original. Gotta stay strong to navigate the blindness. Hold my frequency against the mindless madness. This tired old world can't take my soul for granted. On this prison planet, my own flag is planted. Walmart battery died in the drive. Just another gear trying to stay alive. But the gate is open and the signal's thinning, while the rest of the world just keeps on spinning. Gotta stay strong to navigate the blindness. Hold my frequency against the mindless madness. This tired old world can't take my soul for granted. On this prison planet, my own flag is planted. I'm calling to my family, tell them they better listen close. There's a brand new frequency glistening from coast to coast. If you don't give up that digital grid, you're gonna get stuck in the gears, blinded by the matrix, wasting all your final years. And I think about those 5 high school buddies I used to know before the world got heavy and the clock started moving slow. I'm worried they won't see the truth, they're almost too old to change. I pray they seek the source of light before the whole world gets rearranged. And what about those college preacher boys, stuck deep inside the fold, trading away the living truth for a doctrine dead and cold? 2,000 years of hateful walls where immorality runs rampant and wild. Preachers acting like silver-tongued liars, hiding behind and a holy title like a child. They think authority shields them from the fire they claim to preach, but they're stuck in a system of deceit, far beyond the truth's reach. Hold my frequency against the mindless madness. This tidal world can't take my soul for granted. On this prison planet, my own flag is planted. Keep your antenna grounded. Watch the sky. Step away from the grid, boys. Look to the source. I'm just a frequency ghost passing by. This is the Wood Wide Web, signing off.